You got your stuff ready? You got your homework from Tuesday? You had homework. You were to go through some posts. You could do it this way or this way. I saw some of your wonderful screenshots, photographs. Oh my gosh, photos of your homework. You posted them in the group. You guys are awesome. So hopefully you have your stuff because we're going to talk about it today. This is part 2 of a 2-part series. Tuesday, we talked about what you talk about when you go live. That's where you come up with your homework. Don't worry, if you're tuning in now, I'm going to do a quick review. I also put the link for that particular video up above. Today, part 2, we're going to get into now what? Okay, I got this. I got all my ideas. Now what the heck do I do? You are going to learn a super easy model that you can use to do anything from a 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 5 minute. You could even actually use it for longer, but it is the what I use almost every single day when I go live, and you're gonna learn it today. All right, a little bit of dance party this morning. It is Thursday. We do like to do a little dance party on Thursday, but we're gonna get right to it because we got lots of stuff to cover. That was pretty weak. I recognize that. I recognize that was pretty weak. Okay. Let's do a quick review. Hopefully you got your homework. If not, I'm going to do, for those of you that are, is anybody on with me live that didn't watch Tuesday's training? If so, will you drop a comment so I know how in depth? Just say, yes, watch Tuesday. No, didn't watch Tuesday. Put that in the comments so I know how deep to go. But the reality is many of you are watching on the replay. What I would tell you, if you were watching on the replay, the link to Tuesday's training is up above. Watch that, or maybe it's down below. If you're in YouTube, it's down below. Facebook, it's up above. Go and watch part 1 first, and then come back to part 2. If you're watching on replay, okay? If you are with me live, I'm going to get you caught up, and then you can go watch part 1, I don't know, immediately after this, okay? All right, let me see what we got in chat, in text. Okay, Sherry says yes. Me only watched part of it. No on Tuesday. Okay, so a little bit of everything. I love it. You guys are really going to challenge me today. Okay, what you want to do is you have to realize, remember, this is a review only. So if you're like, I need more, go watch part 1. What you want to do is recognize that any post that you posted, whether it's on your personal profile, your group, your page, anywhere, can also be alive. All you got to do is add one thing. For those of you that went through the training, what's the one thing that you can add to turn any post into a live? Now, you can also use any other post you see. So as you are scrolling and you are seeing other people's things, those are all inspiration for lives. All you got to do is add one thing. That one thing, drum roll, please. Nobody's got it yet, huh? That one thing. There we go. Sherry's got it. A story. Add a story. All you got to do is add a story. Okay. So what your homework was to look at your posts and come up with at least, well, I think I said 3 stories for each post. So for example, here are 5 posts that you might have done in the last couple of weeks. You want to come up with 3 different stories you can tell for each one. That could be your story. It could be a client story. It could be a made up story. Yeah, stories don't have to be real. It could be a quote that inspired you. Okay, like if that was your post, why did it inspire you? What did it make you think about? Why do your users need to use it? All of those are stories, things that you can share. Okay, so you could have done it linear like this, or you could have done the POW bubbles, where your post goes in the middle and you pew, 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 pew off it and come up with story ideas. Okay. So for those of you that did watch part 1 and you did the homework, how was this activity for you? Did it help? Did you get stuck anywhere? What questions you have? I'd love to just take a moment and help you if I can before we dive into the how. I often like to look for stumpers. They're my favorite, where somebody will be like, okay, I had a post and I couldn't figure out a story. Like, bring it on. I want to see if you can challenge me today. Okay. So Tammy says it was easy. Sherry said it flowed so easily. Yes, it does. I love it. I love that you guys got something so valuable out of it. That makes me super, super happy. Awesome. Any questions, Sherry or Tammy? Anything that got you hung up or stuck? Deb says she loves this idea so much. Yeah. I think that was the common answer. As people were posting their homework from Tuesday, everybody was saying, oh my gosh, so many ideas. And not just for lives, but for other content. Love it. Tammy. Listen, I have Post-it notes for days and I got whole bins back there. So yes, you do burn through some Post-it notes, but it's fun, right? Isn't it fun? I think it was fun. Okay. Tammy says quotes. I thought it would be easier to come up with stories for quotes. They can be stinkers. They can be hard for sure. Did you come up with any, Tammy? The best tip that I can give all of you on a quote is to think about what is the point of the quote. What about that quote speaks to you? What is it about that you were like, oh my gosh, I love this so much. It makes me think about a time when what? Easiest thing to go into quotes. It's like, how do you tie that lesson in? And that's going to be important today as we get talking about stories a little bit. No, I just want to. So you skipped over the quotes and you went, I got more content. Skip the quotes. Okay, let's do this real quick. I'm just going to grab this one. I think many of you have seen me do this one before. So this is a quote. This is one of my favorite quotes. When you get to the end of your rope, tie a knot, hang on and swing. Okay. So for those of you, just play along with me. Okay. Play along with me. What in this quote speaks to you? Give me some words. What does this make you think about? Lessons that you can learn from this quote. Don't worry about stories yet. Just tie in, what are you learning here? What speaks to you inside this quote? Okay, while you all are thinking about that, I'm going to keep that held up there as well as I can and look at Stephanie's. Stephanie's got a question here. Got to go back and see part 1. So the post gives ideas for a live. Are we live at? Okay, so good question. Let me come back to that, Stephanie. Okay, so Sherry says, never give up. Okay, do you have a story about a time when you wanted to give up and you pushed through? There's your story. Do you have a story about a client who was ready to give up and you talked them off the ledge? There's your story. That's what you're thinking. You grab onto those things and then you come up with a story. Okay, so Laurel says, don't give up. Same thing. Okay. Nadia says, courage, hope, have fun on your journey. Okay. So is there a story there? Is there a time when you didn't have fun on your journey and you had to turn it around? Is there a time when you didn't have hope and you figured out a way to have fun and laugh through and you found your hope? Or of a client. So sometimes it helps to take the quote and boil it down to a concept, and then you can come up with stories from that. Okay. So Tammy says, lemons to lemonades. Yes. So a time when you made lemonade. Why not? When you literally took lemons and made them lemonade, and you can talk about the quote. That could be a fun one. But there are probably times in your life or times in your client's life where that happened. Tell that story. Okay. Positivity, another thing. Okay, so when was a time when you had to be positive and show up for somebody else? When was a time when you needed some positivity? All those are stories. Okay, you guys like this. I like it too. It's a good quote. It's a fun quote. It's one of my favorites. Okay, so one of the things that came up that I wanted to share, and I promise we're going to get into how here, is I don't have story ideas. I don't have story ideas. I don't have them. They don't come to me. I just go blank. Okay. That's not true. You do have stories. You're reaching for something and you're grasping and there's nothing there for you. Okay. That happens. It's like when you need a black shirt for an event and you go to the store and you can't find a black shirt. It's because you're trying too hard to find the black shirt. So you're trying too hard to find the story. So what I would tell you to do is just be like, okay, take a break, maybe go walk outside, maybe do a little journaling, get into the right mindset where you are opening yourself up and being like, okay, stories, come to me. The other thing you can do, I watched this really, there's this guy that I follow. He's a communications guy. And one of the things that he talked about in this particular video was about stories. And so often we think, I'm so bad at stories. I never have stories. You have lots of stories. The problem is you don't remember them. You're not collecting them. You're not looking for them. So what I would tell you to do is get a journal, get a notebook. Yes, this is me feeding your office supply addiction. In addition to Post-it notes, markers, and glitter pens, you need journals. You have my permission to go out and buy a special journal or notebook that is your story journal or notebook. And what I want you to do is anytime, carry it in your purse, put it by wherever you hang out at night. Maybe you watch TV and you got a coffee table or an end table, stick it in there, wherever it's going to be handy. And anytime something happens to you and you go, oh, that was a good story. Oh my gosh, when you feel emotion, sad, depressed, happy, any of the emotions, jot down that story, jot it down in that book so that you are collecting those stories. Now, my story journal is full of Post-it notes because I often write them on a Post-it note and then I jam them in there. It's a great source of inspiration for me when I need the story. Doesn't mean that I necessarily use the one that I look at, but it inspires me in general. So go and get a journal, track stories. Okay. Back to Stephanie's question. Okay. So Stephanie's question was, what am I doing with this again? Okay. You're going to go through all of your posts from the last week or two. Even posts that you like of other people's. Anything is fine. And you're going to say for each post, so let's say you did a post on a quote, like we just did an example. What are stories you can tell about that post? And you're repurposing that content in a different way. Hope that helps, Stephanie. The story, and this is what we're going to get to, is a really important part of the model you are about to learn. Okay. So anybody have any other questions about stories or this or sticking points? Okay. Nadia says, I use my phone for that. That's great. Yes. Notes on a phone, whatever app you're using. Perfect. It's always with you. That is so true. Sad, but true. Okay. All right. Oh, I like what Sarah said here. Hold on, guys. I got so much. You guys have such good stuff to share here. Have patience and look within for what's triggering. Yes. 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 Okay. If you have other questions about day one, let me know. Post your homework. I don't know about you guys, but was it not fun to see everybody posting their homework from Tuesday? I loved it. I love seeing you guys' stuff. I have to say, Sherry, you probably win the award for the prettiest. It was beautiful. It was color coded and it was fun. Okay. You are going to learn this model right here. Hook, story, call to action. If anybody wants to screenshot it now. I'll put it up like a couple of different times. I'm glad Sherry used glitter pens. Of course she did. Okay. I'm going to give you a 20,000 foot peek at this model. If you want more on this model, you are in luck because at the end of this month, we are doing the Go Live Challenge, and the whole Go Live Challenge is more detail. We go more in depth about this. Okay. All right. So hook, story, call to action. This is the model you use to turn these topics into a very quick 2-3 minute live. Okay. That's it. Now, for those of you who are like, wait a minute, we just learned purpose statements. Yep, you did. That bad boy goes in here, in between your hook and your story. Okay? If you're sitting there going, purpose statements, what is she talking about? Message me or comment below and say, I need purpose statements, and I'll send you the link. We did a whole series of trainings last month on purpose statement. Okay? But for now, hook, story, call to action. Your hook is exactly what it implies. Think about fishing. This is what you are dangling in front of your perfect person to get them to bite, to get them to want to watch your video, to stop their scroll and go, wait a minute, I want to watch this. That's your hook. There are 20 plus different ways that you can use a hook, or different ways to hook. I use it as a verb sometimes. For those of you that are in the Go Live League, you have 2 videos, the first 10, second 10 of ways that you can hook. Okay. For everybody else, what I would tell you is the most effective, the super easiest, my go-to here with hook is you ask a question. You ask a question because it stops people. They want to answer it. They start engaging. They start typing in on your video, which just makes the algorithm show the video to more people. Make them think, get them to type. Ask a question. Ask a question that leads into the story that you're going to tell. Okay, now let's skip over story. We're going to talk about call to action. Before we do that, what questions do you have on hooks? If you got them, drop them in the comments. Okay, so hook, we're going to make this super easy. Ask me a question. First words out of your mouth are the question you're going to ask me. All right, now call to action. We're going to skip over story for a second. I promise we'll come back to it. The call to action is the action or step you want your perfect person to take next. What do they do as a result of this story? Now, in these kind of quick videos where you're only talking for 2 or 3 minutes, your call to action is likely, what did you think of this story? Tell me in the comments. If this story resonated with you, tell me how in the comments. I'd love to know. One of my favorite people to follow is Jasmine Star. I just love her. And she did a reel, it's been a month or so ago by now. And what she says is you have to stop thinking about social media, or maybe she says it differently. I'm sure she says it differently because she's Jasmine Star. But the point is, I'm paraphrasing here clearly. She says the purpose of social media is to start conversations. Start conversations. So your call to action in these short form videos is to start a conversation about what you just talked about. You want them to comment so that you can reply to their comment and ask them more questions. Okay. We did a whole series on engagement and how to get more comments and what to do with those comments 2 months ago. So if anybody wants the link, just comment. I want the link to engagement and I'll get it to you. Okay. So hook and call to action. You got these two. Now let's talk about this pesky little booger, this story. Okay. Answer me this. Get your fingers ready. We're going to do some typing. Why do you enjoy stories? Why do you enjoy stories? Why do you consume them? A story can be everything from podcasts that you listen to a movie, to a TV show, to anywhere that you're getting stories. Why do you like stories? I'm not just waiting until you answer. So they are relatable. Yeah, there's a connection point there, right? Like, I get it. Nadia says they're engaging, entertaining, and educating. For sure. Tammy agrees they're entertaining, right? They make us feel something. Oh, I love this one. Escape, entertain, and educate. Yeah. How many of you can get lost in a book? Or lost on Netflix? And I don't mean I can't find what to watch. I mean, oh my gosh, I've watched 17 episodes. I need to go to sleep, right? It's an escape. You're entertained, you're educating, you're learning something. Okay, Stephanie says, oh my gosh, they draw me in and they help me know I'm not alone. They help me know I'm not alone. Okay, so what you want to do in your quick video is that's why you want to tell a story for all of those reasons. Because your perfect person is like you. They like stories the same reason you like stories. Okay? So you're going to start with a question that pulls them in. You're going to tell an awesome story, and then you're going to end it with a call to action. That is the model. Super easy, super simple, not always easy, especially this booger. Okay. And everybody, what's always fun for me is that everybody has different challenges within all of the parts and pieces of how do you make better videos. Okay. I am really good at hooks and stories. I'm really good at this. It's a superpower of mine. I admit it. I know it. Call to action and close. My nemesis. It's the hardest part for me. That doesn't mean I can't do it or I don't do it. It's just, I got to work harder at it. I got to plan it. I got to think about it in advance. Okay. All right. So if you have any questions about hook, story, call to action, drop them in the comments and I'll answer them. But here's what I want to say. We go a whole lot deeper into all of this in the Go Life Challenge, which happens the week of July 27th. I do it once a quarter. It's 5 days of fantastic fun. You are going to learn a lot. I'm going to use this. It is an escape. You are going to be entertained and you are going to learn something. Thank you, Deb. That's what the Go Life Challenge is all about. It is, you get it's 30 minutes a day. That covers you, for you to have time to watch a video that posts every day. It's a pre-recorded video. There's a workbook for you to apply what you've learned. And then you go live every day. I give you everything that you need, 30 minutes a day. And you are going to smash it at this. There are also optional Zoom calls Tuesday through Friday to ask me questions, to get help, and you can ask me questions on anything. Those are optional, but they are so good. So good. Yeah, Deb is right. It really is. It's a spectacular challenge. I have more people tell me that this is the first challenge they've ever completed in their life. It's fun. I'm telling you, it's all good stuff. Okay. So sign up for the challenge. The link is up above if you're in Facebook, up above, down below if you're on YouTube. Let's see if there's anything else in comments that I want to do before we wrap us up. Okay, back to the stories. The stories help you remember things. Yes, right? So if you've got a point, if you're trying to get people to take action, they'll remember the story way more than anything that you are sharing that is, value driven. Okay? Absolutely. All right, I'm not seeing questions, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up today. Your call to action. Register for the Go Live Challenge. That was I was talking into my microphone and you couldn't see it. If you've already done the challenge, do it again. Do it again. Just practice. You don't even have to go through the trainings again. Just practice. Bring a friend. Invite a friend. The more the merrier. Okay. In terms of what's going on the rest of this week and into next week, tomorrow, Friday, Deb Day and I are going to be live together and we are going to talk about worrying. Who worries? And how do you not worry when it comes to videos and everything else? It's going to be a really cool discussion. I can't wait to see where that goes. So I hope you will join us. That is Friday at 1 Central. Deb and I will be live. Next week, Tuesday, I'm going to do something fun. I had a plan, but it's my group. And so I can do whatever I want, right? So I'm scrapping the plan. And I'm going to do an ask me anything call. So next Tuesday, I'll do a post. I'll probably put it up today. I might put it up on Friday. It just depends on how crazy it is. And I'm going to say, ask me anything. I want you to drop your questions on anything, whether it's about video, whether it's about social media, whether it's about business, whether it's about my personal life. I don't care. You ask me anything. And I'm going to answer all of those questions live next Tuesday. And if you don't get a chance to pre-submit them, that's okay. There'll be time to ask live while we're all on. So I'm going to do that Tuesday. If I get enough questions, if enough of you give me stuff, I'll do it Tuesday and Thursday. So how's that for a carrot? Okay. Oh, another fantastic challenge. Thank you. Tammy, is it really? Fourth one. Oh, wow. Oh, you guys are the best. Okay. Thank you guys. It is a good challenge. I'm very proud of it. Okay, so that's what's coming in, and that's what's the rest of this week and into next week. For those of you that are in the Go Live League today, we have our content call. Go Live League, for those of you who don't know, is my monthly membership. Today's content call, we are learning. So remember how I talked about this? Quick story, call to action. Purpose statements goes here. You're also going to learn how to introduce yourself, which is an important part of this whole model. That also goes in here. Okay, so that's what we're going to learn today. For those of you in the Go Live League, if you are interested in learning that, come join us. It's $1. Your first month is $1. This, by the way, is probably going to be the last month that I do the $1 join. So if you're watching and you're like, I need to take advantage of this, I mean, it's $1. It's a no-brainer. Come and join us. Oh, I'm so glad Sarah's going to do it again. Yay! I love your videos. I love, especially if I get to see horses in your videos. Okay. Final words. Now you've got some tools at your disposal. You've got some Pow Bubbles tools. You now know how to find an unlimited supply of ideas for live videos. And honestly, just for more content, right? And you've now learned a very super simple model that you can do to take all of these ideas and turn them into a live lickety split. Okay. Here's what I will say in closing, and that is I might say that this is simple and easy, but it can take some practice. Competence comes when you develop and you learn skills, but you got to practice them. You got to put them to work. And I have opened it up to all of you. Go live as often as you want in this group. Just say that you're practicing my hook, practicing my story, practicing my purpose statement, whatever you're practicing. And you go live every single day if you want. I don't recommend that, but you can. You can do it as often as you want. Okay. If you ever want me to watch one of your videos and dive deep into it and do like a complete video checkup, just let me know. We'll do that. Okay. But competence comes when you build confidence comes when you build competence. I got my words all backwards there. Competence. No, stop talking, Jamie. Is it Friday yet? Why does it feel like Monday? Confidence comes when you build competence. Okay. The more you learn, the more you apply it, the better you're going to get, the easier it's going to get, the more fun you're going to have. Okay. If you are finding yourself in a situation where you're like, I am overthinking all the time, that is part of learning. Yes, you are absolutely where you were supposed to be. Keep going. Okay. Remember my start, suck, get better. You are in the suck part. You are having to overthink everything. The more you do it, the easier it gets. You're almost there. That's your sign that you are almost there. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. Questions are coming in. I'm going to answer your questions, which is like, by the way, do not do what I just did. You do not want to end your video on questions. Why do you not want to end your video on questions? Why do you not want to end your video on questions? But I'm going to freaking do it because when you know the rules, you know when to break them. Isn't that how that goes? Okay. So a couple questions coming in. Can you put the link to the membership in? Yes, I will. Sarah, I will do that after this. Sherry says, how long is the 50% off going? The 50% off is off one-on-ones. So whether you want a single one-on-one, which I call a power boost, you can buy a single one-on-one, you can buy you can buy as many of those as you want, or I've got a 3-month package, which I'll give you an even better deal on. So 50% off is through July 31st. Any sort of one-on-one with me, 50% off. Just through July. You don't have to use it in July. You just have to buy it in July. So if you want to buy 3 and you want to use one in August, one in September, one in October, you can use them whenever you want. But 50% off is just through July. Okay. All right. Back to my question. Why do you not want to end with questions? Nobody has an idea? We're going to turn my misstep into a learning opportunity. Why would you not want to end your video with questions? This is true in a Zoom call, true in a one-on-one, true in everything. I'll give you a hint. It's about lasting impression. The very last thing you want to do in your video is end with a lasting impression. The challenge with taking questions is you are not in control of that lasting impression. You don't know what they're going to ask. Might take you sideways, might take you off, might take you down a negative. Doesn't mean you can't recover from a negative question. Those are powerful. You just don't want to end your video with that. You want to create a lasting impression, and you as the videographer, if you as the star of your video, you want to make sure that they leave with exactly what you want them to leave with. Some ooey gooey feeling about whatever it was that you talked about in that video. Okay? All right. So since I took questions and broke my own rule, yeah, there's a process here. Okay, hold on. We're going to go here just because this is coming up. So let's talk about it. Okay, here's the model. Here's the screenshot that if you want. I'll hold it here for a second. Okay. You start with a hook. You have your purpose statement, which you just learned. Then you do your intro. Those in the Go Live League, you're learning it later today. Then you cover your content, which may be a story. And then you end with your call to action and your close. Questions are before it. Answer all the questions, deal with all of that. Then tell them their call to action. Then leave them with the warm and fuzzy. Okay? All right. So let's go back to the call to action for today. Your call to action for today is to sign up for the Go Live Challenge. Come and join us for the Go Live Challenge. Even if you've done it 4 times, do it again. Practice is an important step. Practice is an important step. And bring a friend. Invite somebody else. Share it. The more the merrier. I think we've got 45 signed up as of right now. And we got, a week and a few days before we start. So I'm guessing we'll probably end up around 80 or so. That seems to be where the trend is. So help a girl out. Invite a friend. Who do you know that should do this with you? It is always fun with a friend. Okay, so that's your call to action. Now, my final close is this. Back to where I was talking about. See if I can get it right this time. Confidence. Building confidence. Being more confident on camera. It comes when you build competence. Leah, who's in this group, posted a really cool graphic earlier this week. I think I've got it pinned, where it talked about oftentimes we wait until we have everything perfect and then we do it. And the reality is you get to that point by doing, not by waiting. The more you practice, the more your competence builds, the more your confidence comes out. Okay. Confidence also comes from clarity. When you are clear on what you're going to talk about and how you're going to talk about it, you're going to be more confident. And when you show up more confidently, you feel good, but your perfect person, they're going to feel that too. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today. For those of you in the Go Live League, I'll see you later. Everybody else, catch you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. I feel like we should have sign-off music. I think we need sign-off music. Let's go back. Let's do that. I mean, we've already gone way long, so why not just end with some music? How's that for a last impression? I'm dancing with my clipboard. All right. I'm going to call it quits. Bye, guys.